Hold on, y'all. Oh, what the fuck you dropping for? It's not going to you. All right, y'all.
You know, instead of laughing about this incident that happened to a little high school girl, and it's not really people that's in my age group. It's like the women that's like in their 20s or something that I happen to come across their stuff on TikTok. They all think that it's so funny that this little girl was humiliated like this. And nobody's looking at the bigger picture. Nobody's looking at the picture is why did she react that way? All the other girls didn't drop down to their knees because you know what probably is happening is that she's probably, because of her upbringing, she's probably the dirty little secret. And that young lady to drop on the floor like that, it appears that he has had some dealings with her. And when I talk about dirty little secret, you guys have done seen my series on dirty little secrets. It's how we take our daughters and shame them for normal human nature. Little black girls, get your hand in the book, don't like them boys. And they don't give you any experience on how to interact with boys or how to date boys. And then as soon as they get 17, you send them off to an HBCU like some little deer. We just sent off these just droves of harems of virgin black girls, just put them out there into the world to be abused by any dirty man that wants to wipe himself on her. And that's what I see in this story. I see in this story a little girl whose parents probably don't let her even talk to boys. And this little boy's been sneaking around. This is what I see. Sneaking around behind everybody's backs, defiling her, disrespecting her and using her. But then he's got his girlfriend that's out there in the public, the one that his mom and dad let him buy, or they used their money to buy balloons and all these gifts for his girlfriend, which is a little girl that's probably allowed to date, whose parents see the importance of teaching girls how to interact with boys instead of just throwing them out there into the world and then letting the boys like Beyonce teach them how to be a woman. Oh, so gross. It's so sick to me. This is how you end up with women like Monique, old ass women calling a man daddy. He raising me. Because we don't teach our girls how to interact with boys and let them be the dirty little secret. So that little girl is probably the one that's coming to school an hour early. Mommy, can you drop me off at the school hour early so I can get some tutoring? So she can go behind the gym and fool around with the little boy. I did it. Parents were strict Jehovah's Witnesses. Oh boy, I couldn't even say that a boy was cute. See a boy, I'm supposed to look the other way. And then, of course, I got 18 and they sent me off with a 26-year-old predator to be abused by and used by and coerced and raped. And so I don't think that it's funny when I see this little girl's reaction, because people always want to make girls be so dumb and so crazy. It's just like at my age, when a man cheats on you and you tell him to go on about his way, he does this big smear campaign that people believe. She just wanted to get married. We wasn't even dating. Yeah, but you're walking around in matching clothes, going to church, professing your love to each other online. And then all of a sudden he does something wrong and then the woman's crazy. And then everybody believes it. This is the same idea with this little girl here. For her to fall to her knees like that, she thought that the little boy was finally professing his love to her, because he probably was like, well, my mom and dad want me to date Lisa. And so I just have to pretend but I really like you, but your parents won't let me date you. So I just have to say this. So she becomes the dirty little secret. So it's not funny. And what some adult in that situation, because it's viral now, some adult in that situation, some black woman, older black woman, because it won't be that little girl's parents, because she's probably the dirty little secret, the one that you keep your hand in the books, don't you tell them boys. So it probably won't be her parents. But hopefully there'll be like another teacher at that school that can pull her aside and say, honey, because it's viral. Honey, let's talk about this. And talk to the other young girl. Okay, you see her reaction on this while you're laughing and thinking, well, he says she just crazy and she like him and she's stalking him. Why did she react like that? And then hear that other little girl say, well, he said he really likes me. And he said he was going to get me something for Valentine's Day, but he wasn't going to let nobody see it. We as adults need to do two things. We need to hip girls to the game so we can stop being victimized. And number two, we need to teach our kids some empathy. Do you see how that person in the video is talking about that young lady, degrading her? I can't tell if it's a boy or a girl.
What the fuck you dropping for? It's not going to you.
It just sounds like this some abusive man. Doesn't it sound like a man that will beat his girlfriend or beat his wife? Doesn't that sound like, if it's a girl, doesn't it sound like a woman that will be abusive to her kids and beat them into child protective services and then be crying, they just took my kid because I'm a black woman. Yeah, if you beating them and using drugs and everything by them, they need to take them. Somebody needs to take them. So just looking at that story, I feel sorry for that little girl, and I hope that we find out what the true story is behind that, because she's not crazy. There's no reason for a little girl to just fall and crumble all on the floor like that, and a little boy walk right past her. He didn't notice that she was doing it, and it had to be somebody else that talks that hateful to her. Teach your kids empathy, and teach your girls the game that we've been teaching boys for generations.